Today I learned. In the early 1900s, before there were rules about food safety, the grocery store was a dangerous place. Food companies could put whatever they wanted in their products, even if it was unhealthy. Formaldehyde, a strong preservative, was used to keep milk, beer, and other drinks fresh for longer. It was also used to make flour whiter and to make gelatin, which is in stuff like marshmallows and jelly. Lead, on the other hand, got into food in several ways. It was in the paint used on food processing machines, in the glaze on pottery, and even added to some candy and wine. People didn't know how bad formaldehyde and lead were at the time, and there weren't any rules in place to stop companies from using them. That changed in 1906 when President Theodore Roosevelt signed the Pure Food and Drug Act. This law made it illegal to sell food that was contaminated or had the wrong labels. It also gave the government the power to go into food factories and make sure they were following the guidelines. Did you know? For thousands of years, opium, a powerful narcotic, was used to soothe infants and children. From ancient Egypt to Victorian England, caregivers used this readily available substance to quiet crying babies and induce sleep. This practice, though widespread and accepted for centuries, had devastating consequences. Opium's potent sedative effects lead to addiction and even death. The reasons for using opium varied. Some believed it provided relief from teething pain and discomfort, while others viewed it as a way to control restless infants. Additionally, the lack of understanding of child development contributed to the widespread use of this dangerous substance. However, the tide began to turn in the late 19th century. Advancements in medical knowledge and a growing awareness of the dangers of opium led to a decline in its use. Public campaigns and legislation further restricted the sale of opium-based products, effectively ending its centuries-long reign as a child's medicine. Today, the dangers of opium are well documented, and its use as a sedative for infants is considered unthinkable. Yet, this historical practice serves as a stark reminder of our evolving understanding of scientific research. Did you know? The original cola wasn't just fizzy. In the late 19th century, this iconic beverage wasn't the sugary treat we know and love. It was a potent potion laced with a secret ingredient, cocaine. John Pemberton, the pharmacist mastermind behind the cola, brewed his brain and nerve tonic in his lab. He tossed in cola nuts for caffeine, then reached for a slightly more exotic ingredient, coca leaves. Back then, coca was the darling of the medical world, touted as a miracle cure for everything from headaches to hangovers. So, Pemberton's coca-laced cola tonic fit right in with the zeitgeist, promising a bubbly brain boost with every sip. As the dark side of cocaine emerged, the tonic began to wean itself off the white powder. By the time the 20th century rolled around, the brain tonic with a buzz had transformed into the sugary icon we know today. This "Coke with a Kick" story isn't just about a shocking ingredient, it's a portal to a time when medical understanding was a bit murkier. Did you know? Forget Fallout and the latest kale smoothies. The early 1900s fueled a bizarre health kick: radium tonics. The element responsible for glowing clocks and nuclear meltdowns found its way into everything from elixirs and chocolate to toothpaste and, believe it or not, suppositories. Radiant health took on a literal meaning back then. Radium water, marketed as the elixir of life, promised to cure anything from arthritis to hangovers. Athletes, socialites, and even doctors endorsed its magical properties, fueled by radium-funded marketing. Radium toothpaste aimed for brighter smiles, and beauty creams promised youthful radiance. Thankfully, the 1930s brought a dose of reality. Scientists, finally piecing together the puzzle between glowing health and gruesome radiation sickness, sounded the alarm. By the late 1930s, radium's radioactive rain fizzled out, leaving a trail of lawsuits and a chilling reminder of the dangers of mixing science with snake oil. So, next time you reach for a multivitamin, remember, sometimes the healthiest glow comes from sunshine. Did you know? In 1927, a fall shattered the comfort of Eben Byer's life. Seeking relief from the lingering pain, he embraced the remedy prescribed by his physician, Radioactive, a radium-infused elixir promising vitality and health. Byers, like many of the time, had no idea of the dangers of radiation. Initially, Byers felt invigorated. He became an advocate for Radioactive, consuming several doses daily. However, within 3 years, the promised toned-up feeling gave way to devastating symptoms: weight loss, excruciating headaches, and the gradual disintegration of his teeth. By 1931, the Federal Trade Commission sought his testimony about Radioactive's purported benefits. Byers, confined to his home, offered silent witness to its destructive potential. His jaw, ravaged by radiation, had been removed. According to reports, all the remaining bone tissue of his body was disintegrating, and holes were actually forming in his skull. Byers' death in 1932 was attributed to radiation poisoning and multiple radiation-induced cancers. His lead-lined coffin is a chilling testament to the radioactive legacy he unwittingly embraced. Did you know?